life, and that I share with God. I share with God. There is one life, and that I share with God. I share with God. There are not different kinds of life, for life is like the truth. It does not have degrees. It is the one condition in which all that God created share. Like all His thoughts, it has no opposite, no opposite. There is no death, because what God created shares His life. There is no death, because an opposite to God does not exist. There is no death, because the Father and the Son are one. There is one life, and that I share with God. I share with God. There is one life, and that I share with God. There is one life, and that I share with God. Well, thank you all so much for joining me in studying A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles this year. And we're ready for Lesson 167 for Monday, June the 16th of 2025. And I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. There is one life, and that I share with God. There are not different kinds of life, for life is like the truth. It does not have degrees. It is the one condition in which all that God created share. Like all His thoughts, it has no opposite. There is no death, because what God created shares His life. There is no death, because an opposite to God does not exist. There is no death, because the Father and the Son are one. In this world, there appears to be a state that is life's opposite. You call it death. Yet we have learned that the idea of death takes many forms. It is the one idea which underlies all feelings that are not supremely happy. Death is the one idea which underlies all feelings that are not supremely happy. It is the alarm to which you give response of any kind that is not perfect joy. All sorrow, loss, anxiety, and suffering, and pain, even a little sigh of weariness, a slight discomfort, or the merest frown, acknowledge death, and thus deny you live. You think that death is of the body, yet it is but an idea, irrelevant to what is seen as physical. A thought is in the mind. It can be then applied as mind directs it. But its origin is where it must be changed if change occurs. Ideas leave not their source. The emphasis this course has placed on that idea is due to its centrality in our attempts to change our minds about ourselves. That idea, ideas leave not their source. The emphasis this course has placed on that idea is due to its centrality in our attempts to change your mind about yourself. It is the reason you can heal, because ideas leave not their source. It's the reason you can heal. It is the cause of healing. It is why you cannot die. Its truth established you as one with God. Death is the thought that you are separate from your Creator. Death is the thought that you are separate from your Creator. It is the belief conditions change. Emotions alternate because of causes you cannot control, you did not make, and you can never change. It is the fixed belief ideas can leave their source and take on qualities the source does not contain, becoming different from their own origin, apart from it in kind as well as distance, time, and form. Death cannot come from life. Ideas remain united to their source. They can extend all that their source contains. In that, they can go far beyond themselves. But they cannot give birth to what was never given them. As they are made, so will their making be. As they were born, so will they then give birth. And where they come from, there they will return. The mind can think it sleeps, but that is all. It cannot change what is its waking state. It cannot make a body nor abide within a body. What is alien to the mind does not exist, because it has no source. For mind creates all things that are and cannot give them attributes it lacks, nor change its own eternal mindful state. It cannot make the physical. What seems to die is but the sign of mind asleep. What seems to die is but the sign of mind asleep. Oh, maybe we wake up and realize there is no death. The opposite of life can only be another form of life. As such, it can be reconciled with what created it, because it is not opposite in truth. Its form may change, it may appear to be what it is not, yet mind is mind, awake or sleeping. It is not its opposite in anything created, nor in what it seems to make when it believes it sleeps. God creates only mind awake. He does not sleep, and His creations cannot share what He gives not, nor make conditions which He does not share with them. The thought of death is not the opposite to thoughts of life. Forever unopposed by opposites of any kind, the thoughts of God remain forever changeless, with the power to extend forever changelessly, but yet within themselves, for they are everywhere. What seems to be the opposite of life is merely sleeping. When the mind elects to be what it is not, and to assume an alien power which it does not have, a foreign state it cannot enter, or a false condition not within its source, it merely seems to go to sleep a while. It dreams of time, an interval in which what seems to happen. It dreams of time, an interval in which what seems to happen never has occurred. The changes wrought are substanceless, and all events are nowhere. When the mind awakes, it but continues as it always was, just done in dreams. Let us today be children of the truth and not deny our holy heritage. Our life is not as we imagine it. We change life because Who changes life because he shuts his eyes, or makes himself what he is not because he sleeps, and sees in dreams an opposite to what he is? We will not ask for death in any form today, nor will we let imagined opposites to life abide even an instant, where the thought of life eternal has been set by God Himself. His holy home we strive to keep today, as He established it and wills it be forever and forever. He is Lord of what we think today, and in His thoughts, which have no opposite, we understand there is one life, and that we share with Him, with all creation, with their thoughts as well, whom He created in a unity of life that cannot separate in death and leave the source of life from where it came. We share one life because we have one source, a source from which perfection comes to us, remaining always in the holy minds which He created perfect. As we were, so are we now and will forever be. A sleeping mind must waken as it sees its own perfection, mirroring the Lord of life so perfectly, it fades into what is reflected there. And now it is no more a mere reflection. It becomes the thing reflected, and the light which makes reflection possible. No vision now is needed, for the wakened mind is one that knows its source, its self, its holiness. And source, self, and holiness are all capitalized, being the divinity within, the light of God, the love of God, our reality. There is one life, and that I share with God. Be sure to do your 2 longer extended practice periods today for at least 5 minutes, and I'd encourage you to do 15 or more. And then, but do at least 5 minutes. If that seems pretty tough, well then stick with 5. But if you can, do a little more. And then throughout the day, every hour of the day, find something to give God thanks for. Be sure to say your lesson for the day. There is one life, and that I share with God. And then take a moment to let God remind you of what to do in the hour yet to come. Okay, well, let's go take a look at our text reading. We're in chapter 18, the passing of the dream. Light in the dream. We're going to read this section. You who have spent your life in bringing truth to illusion, reality to fantasy, have walked the way of dreams. For you have gone from waking to sleeping and on to yet deeper sleep. Each dream has led to other dreams, and every fantasy that seemed to bring a light into the darkness, but made the darkness deeper. Your goal was darkness, in which no ray of light could enter, and you sought a blackness so complete that you could hide from truth forever, in complete insanity. What you forgot was simply that God cannot destroy Himself. The light is in you. Darkness can cover it, but cannot put it out. God's in you. The light is in you. As the light comes nearer, you will rush to darkness, shrinking from the truth, sometimes retreating to the lesser forms of fear, and sometimes to stark terror. But you will advance, because your goal is the advance from fear to truth. The goal you accepted is the goal of knowledge, for which you signify your willingness. Fear seems to live in darkness, and when you are afraid, you have stepped back. Let us then join quickly in an instant of light, and it will be enough to remind you that your goal is light. 3. Truth has rushed to meet you since you called upon it. Truth has rushed to meet you since you have called upon it. We're children of the light. We're learning to walk in the light, to love truth, and to go for it, knowing that it's the removal of all fear. Truth and peace, love, they're all one in God, in us. Truth has rushed to meet you since you called upon it. If you knew who walks beside you on the way that you have chosen, fear would be impossible. You do not know because the journey into darkness has been long and cruel, and you have gone deep into it. A little flicker of your eyelids, closed so long, has not yet been sufficient to give you confidence in yourself, so long despised. You go toward love still hating it, and terribly afraid of its judgment upon you. And you do not realize that you are not afraid of love, but only of what you have made of it. You are advancing to love's meaning, and away from all illusions in which you have surrounded it. When you retreat to the illusion you fear, your fear increases, For there is little doubt that what you think it means is fearful. Yet what is that to us who travel surely and very swiftly away from fear? 4. You who hold your brother's hand also hold mine. For when you joined each other, you were not alone. Do you believe that I would leave you in the darkness that you agreed to leave with me? In your relationship is this world's light, and fear must disappear before you now. Be tempted not to snatch away the gift of faith you offered to your brother. You will succeed only in frightening yourself. The gift is given forever, for God Himself received it. You cannot take it back. You have accepted God. The holiness of your relationship is established in heaven. You do not understand what you accepted, but remember that your understanding is not necessary. Your understanding is not necessary. All that was necessary was merely the wish to understand. We have a wish to understand, a willingness to understand. That wish was the desire to be holy. The will of God is granted you, for you desire the only thing you ever had or ever were. 5. Each instant that we spend together will teach you that this goal is possible and will strengthen your desire to reach it. And in your desire lies its accomplishment. Your desire is now in complete accord with all the power of the Holy Spirit's will. No little faltering footsteps that you may take can separate your desire from His will and from His strength. I hold your hand as surely as you agreed to take your brother's. You will not separate, for I stand with you and walk with you in your advance to truth. And where we go, we carry God with us. 6. In your relationship, you have joined with me in bringing heaven to the Son of God, who hid in darkness. You have been willing to bring the darkness to light, and this willingness has given strength to everyone who would remain in darkness. Those who would see will see, and they will join with me in carrying their light into the darkness when the darkness in them is offered to the light and is removed forever. My need for you, joined with me in the holy light of your relationship, is your need for salvation. Would I not give you what you gave to me? For when you joined your brother, you answered me. We reach God, or the Christ in us, as we reach our brothers and our sisters. We all make it to heaven together. 7. You who are now the bringer of salvation have the function of bringing light to darkness. Again on that sentence. You who are now the bringer of salvation have the function of bringing light to darkness. The darkness in you has been brought to light. Carry it back to darkness from the holy instant to which you brought it. We are made whole in our desire to make whole. We are made whole in our desire to make whole. Let not time worry you, for all the fear that you and your brother experience is really past. Let not time worry you, for all the fear that you and your brother experience is really past. Time has been readjusted to help us do together what your separate pasts would hinder. You have gone past fear, for no two minds can join in the desire for love without love's joining them. Wow, take heart in that. Grab hold of your brother and sister's hand. You have gone past fear, for no two minds can join in the desire for love without love's joining them. And the last paragraph to finish this section, 8. Not one light in heaven but goes with you. Not one ray that shines forever in the mind of God but shines on you. heaven is joined with you in your advance to heaven. When such great lights have joined with you to give the little spark of your desire, the power of God Himself, can you remain in darkness? You and your brother are coming home together after a long and meaningless journey that you undertook apart and that led nowhere. You have found your brother, and you will light each other's way. And from this light will the great rays, capital great rays, and from this light that you find with your brother to light your way, and from this light will the great rays extend back into darkness and forward unto God to shine away the past and so make room for His eternal presence, in which everything is radiant in the light. His eternal presence, in which everything is radiant in the light. That last sentence again. You have found your brother, and you will light each other's way, and from this light will the great rays extend back into darkness and forward unto God, to shine away the past, and so make room for His eternal presence, in which everything is radiant in the light. Is everything radiant in the light for you yet? Well, you may still be dreaming then. Okay, well, let's wake up from the dream and see there is one life, and that I share with God. Okay, let's see what's going on around the world, holidays and observance. Why? It's the martyrdom of Guru Arjan Dev Sahib, a Sikh guru. And then on holidays and observances, I found that it's Bloomsday. Lots of blooms. Can I pull that over? Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just pull it up and feed it to the horse. There's a comfrey flower, Bloomsday. I was just showing you a bloom. Comfrey, a bioaccumulator, reaches roots deep and brings things to the surface, minerals that other plants can't get. But when their bodies die, they make a nice mulch and feed the topsoil. What is that? A Symphyum officinale, I think is the. I'm not sure on that genera. Symphinus? I think that's what it is. It's officinale, or check it out yourself. Bloomsday, Fresh Veggies Day. A lot of people eat comfrey, but I'd be aware of it. There are some people say it has some toxins in it, so do your research. But it's bone knit, great for helping bones heal. That's how it's been used for a long time. International Day of Family Remittances, International Day of the African Child, Ladies' Day Basketball, No Orange Clothes Day, Ride to Work Day for motorcyclists, Take Your Cat to Work Day or Take Your Dog to Work Day, Wish Fulfillment Day, World Sea Turtle Day, and I found out that there's 6 genera of sea turtles, and one I wanted to tell you about is the leatherback sea turtle, which are the largest of the extant sea turtles, not extinct. The opposite of extinct is extant, new word for me. And of the extant sea turtles, the leatherback sea turtle is the Dermachelys coriacea, and there was one found in 1988 on the British Isles that was the biggest one ever found. It had died and got washed up on shore. It had got tangled up in some fishing lines. It was estimated to be 100 years old, but it was almost 9 foot long, which is 3 meters, and it weighed over 500 kilograms. Or was that right? No, over more than that. 914 kilograms, which is a ton. 2016 pounds. Leatherback sea turtle. And then out of edible landscaping, I've got another raspberry, and it's called the Caroline Everbearing Raspberry. Caroline is a large, conic, well-flavored red raspberry, more disease-resistant and with larger, earlier fruits than most everbearers, sweeter fruits than most red raspberries, ripens August till frost at the nursery, but responds to warmer temperatures and ripens earlier farther south. Several plants are usually planted 3 foot apart in rows 5 foot wide. One plant, space in the middle of a 5-foot circle of well-prepared garden soil. So you can either plant it in a 5-foot wide row, about every 3 foot, and it'll kind of fill in. Or you just one plant, put it in the middle of a 5-foot circle of well-prepared garden soil. Canes average 3 to 6 foot tall, zones 5 through 9. And then our word for peace, we're going to take it from the Chalagi people. And who's the Chalagi? That's the Cherokee. That was the word they use, is Chalagi. So yeah, we could respect the Cherokee by using the word Chalagi. They were originally on the Tennessee River, the Little Tennessee River, the Hiwassee River, the Savannah River, the French Broad River, the Tuckasegee River, and the Oconaluftee rivers and their watersheds. They called those the Long Men. The watershed from the mountain to the ocean, that was the Long Man, the watershed. And they were basically, in today's world, the western North Carolina, northern South Carolina, eastern Tennessee, northern Georgia, southwest Virginia, and northern Alabama. And the word for peace is Nvwtohiyada. 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 Anyway, the Chalagi. There is one life, and that I share with God. I share with God. There are not different kinds of life, for life is like the truth. It does not have degrees. It is the one condition in which all that God created share. Like all His thoughts, it has no opposite, no opposite. There is no death, because what God created shares His life. There is no death, because an opposite to God does not exist. There is no death, because the Father and the Son are one. There is one life, and that I share with God. I share with God. There is one life, and that I share with God. And according to my dad, Samuel Genoa Perkins, I'm also Cherokee. So the Chalagi, Nvwtohiyada. There is one life, and that I share with God. Nvwtohiyada.